Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to Red, White, and Bills Weekly Picks, Week 7. Brett, how you doing today?
Dude, cannot complain, man. I'm glad to be back with you for another week. It's week 7, and just seems like every single week is moving by fast.
Yeah, the season's almost over, basically. About halfway done.
It's
So
crazy.
that kind of stinks, but that's what happens when you play one game a week. And baseball lasts forever because they play basically every day, and they're still playing now. Their playoffs will be over by November, and then they'll start playing again in February. So wish it
Crazy.
football wish football was a little bit like that, but unfortunately it's not. The shortest season with the longest off season.
Exactly, man. And we just need to get to the playoffs and get deep in there so we don't have a long off season for the Bills.
Yeah, it could at least be enjoyable. But all right, so I still got 5 wins on you and 5 less losses. So 5 game swing there. You thought you were going to make up ground last week, and you went 8-7. I was 10-5. Uh, yeah, it's looking pretty tight still, I guess. Maybe you could chip away and maybe win one more game each week than I do, and you'll be good. But you're 55-39, and I'm 60-34 after this past week. Nobody hit their upsets, and well, it was a somewhat normal week minus the Eagles and the Niners losing. So if they won, I would have been 12-2 or 12-3. So that would have been pretty damn solid. So can't complain there. But
Two,
let's
two
get
teams
right
that should have
into
won
it.
last week.
Huh?
Two teams that should have won last week. I mean, just
Yeah.
meltdowns by both teams.
Right, exactly. So that stuff happens. I mean, there's no unbeaten teams left, and as bad as our team, we haven't had it all put together the last 2 weeks, but that's the kind of game it is. We could come out in the next 10 weeks straight and put up 30+ points every game. It's just part of the game, So anybody can get got anytime, and the Niners, they were looking unstoppable always. And then as soon as you take out a couple of the playmakers, Purdy doesn't look good at all. Then their team loses. So
Right.
it just goes to show you how loaded they actually were. And then you take out a guy like Debo and Trent Williams, and then all of a sudden their team falls apart. But that's the kind of system they built. Built great weapons around an average guy, and they look above average. So hopefully all those people come back healthy, especially McCaffrey, because I have him in fantasy. But Thursday Night Football, Saints versus Jags. Saints are favorited by 2.5. I'll go first. This isn't my upset, but I'm picking the Saints over the Jags. Saints defense has been consistent all year as usual. Their offense hasn't gotten together at all, which was surprising because Derek Carr, you thought, oh, he's going to go into that team that just needs a quarterback, and they're going to be pretty damn good. I mean, they're 3-3, but I don't think they scored over 20 points more than once. I don't think. Could be
Right.
wrong, but I know offensively they're kind of struggling. But I think they'll stop the Jags, and I think they'll score enough against the Jags. You know how the Jags defense is weird, where they play really good against the really good teams, and they play bad, really bad sometimes. So I think this is going to be one of those games. So I got the Saints.
So I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to take the Jaguars in this game. I think that they're playing pretty good right now. They're, the only thing that kind of worries me is Travis Etienne, but I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a bounce back week this week, and I think this is going to be a game that he's going to step up and put some points on the Saints defense. And I know I like the Saints defense and everything, but I think the Jaguars defense is just gonna keep it together and keep them in the game, and I think the Jaguars offense will make it happen this week. And whether it's gonna be Travis Etienne or Tank Bigsby that's gonna be the starting running back for them this week, I think either one of them will have a good chance to put up some yards on this Saints defense.
Yeah, and above all else, you always want the AFC team to lose. So hopefully they do. But I can also see them winning. But I got to go with the Saints here Then you got another one where you'd like to see the AFC team lose, the Ravens and the Lions. I mean, man, the Lions are 5-1. They could be 6-1 after this week, which is insane. I love the loser. You know what I mean? I always have, and for years I always felt bad for the Lions. We've been there.
Yeah,
Man, it was a couple years ago when they were in all these one-score games and they kept losing. I was watching them on Thanksgiving when I was helping my aunt get ready for the day, and they were the first game, the 11 o'clock or whatever.
Yep.
And it was like a shitty game. They almost won. They blew it in the end. I was like, oh, man, I feel bad for Goff. The Rams kind of just like threw him into the trash. Like, oh yeah, he sucked, even though he brought us to a Super Bowl or whatever. We don't care about him no more. And then, he's just a good guy. They got a lot of good players on the team. Now they're 5-1. It could be 6-1. I'm picking the Lions because they seem like they're unstoppable to a point. But again, it'd be awesome to see another AFC team lose because we are in the AFC and you want to see those. Selfishly, you want to see those teams lose. But Ravens just haven't jumped off the board at me yet. I mean, being fair. They still got playmakers, Zay Flowers. Is OBJ even playing?
I heard he's hurt right now, so
we haven't heard much about him. The running backs are always hurt as always. Lamar's doing okay, but their defense is still pretty good. But Zay Flowers is showing out. But I think the Lions will win this game. It'll be a good game though, and the Ravens are favored by 2.5.
Yeah, I have the Lions winning this one. I think that they're going to be the team that plays pretty well in this game, and expectations are high and with Dan Campbell's team, but I think this is a game that they're going to show up, and the defense of the Lions is incredible with Aiden Hutchinson and all the weapons that they have on that defense it's starting to gel and they're starting to play together, and that's a good sign. And so I'm going to take the Lions to win this game.
Yeah. If they win the next 2 or 3 games, they could basically lock up the division already.
Yeah, they're really good.
Depending on what the other teams do, but so say they go 8-1, and then you got, I think the Packers are 2-3, the Vikings are 2-4, and the Bears are 1-5. So if the Packers go 2-6, you can basically say that division's already wrapped up, which would be insane.
It was supposed to be a close race between the Vikings and the Lions. Oh my gosh! I mean,
everybody was saying Chicago was going to go 15-2, and Hurts Fields is going to win MVP.
Yeah,
but yeah, which I did think the Bears were going to be better. I thought they would be better than they were last year, but apparently not. That's funny though. Then you got the Bucks, who are going to be playing on Thursday, which me and Jake will be at, which I can't wait to go. I'll be leaving on Wednesday. They're 2.5-point favorites versus the Falcons, and the Falcons they're that team that you never know what to do. They are 3-3, so it makes sense. And they do have playmakers, but they have a bad quarterback. They have a good offensive line, and I think the Bucks, they still have a great, fantastic defense, decent on the line. I don't know if Baker's going to be playing. I think he got banged up. I don't know if you heard much about it. But, you still got Chris Godwin. You still got Mike Evans. So I know I'm worried about them when they come on Thursday. Those are 2 really good receivers. But, yeah, I'm going to go with the Bucks here.
So right now, Baker Mayfield is off the injury report.
Okay.
So that's a great sign that he's going to be playing. So I'm going to roll the same way and take the Bucks. But obviously, if Baker wasn't playing, I would take the Falcons. Yeah. So that's to be determined, but I think he's going to play. I'm going to take the Bucks to win this game just because I mean, they have so many playmakers on that defense. Levante David looking great, even though he's an older veteran. That's somebody that, I'm still surprised is playing to this day, honestly. I mean, he's been in the league for a number of years. Devin White as well, playing phenomenal. And then the whole entire defense is coming together under Todd.
Jack Barrett, Vita Vea.
Hey, I have a story about Vita Vea I can tell you that's pretty darn funny, but I'll save it for another day.
You're going to save it for game week. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough to get all of our shows in because you got we're playing Sunday, so then you got to get like the post game in, then you got to get all of a sudden you got to get a pregame out before Thursday, then you got weekly picks, and you got Summit and everything. It's going to be
double duty, man.
Busy. Did the Bucks have a bye last week?
They did. Yeah, they had a bye
Okay.
last week,
But
so
they're 3-2.
yep.
So so this will also be good if they win too, because then they'll be 4-2, and we'll be hopefully 5-2 going into the Thursday night football, and that
Right.
it could be another quality win. So as of right now, every team that we played so far is 500 or better, except for the Giants. So out of six games, 5 teams we played are over 500 or better, or 500 or better, and then this will be another team. Obviously, the Patriots are not 500 or better, but then the Bucks are. So the schedule was our easy part, but as of right now, it's turning out to be a pretty solid schedule.
Yeah, it's a tough schedule for
It's
the
even
Bills.
harder in the end, but 4-2, as frustrating as it is, because we shouldn't be 4-2, we should be better than that. Could also have been 3-3. It's just frustrating knowing how good this team is. But we're getting off on it because my Bills always frustrate me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. That could be a huge win. Being another quality team, another winning team. We had our we're 1-1 against those really good teams, Dolphins and Jags. Which the Jags game I'm just going to throw out because of that all that traveling crap, and they were already there.
Right.
But you got another test in the Bucks, and then you got the Commanders versus the Giants. Commanders are favored by 1.5 points. The Giants played really well against us. I don't know if that was because we were playing lackadaisical or they were just really came to play. I started thinking about it, and I was like, their season's over now, but they were probably thinking primetime stage. Our season isn't technically over right now. You beat a good team like the Buffalo Bills, you're 2-4. Then you got the Commanders next week. You could be 3-4, and then you're still back in it.
Right.
So I think they played with a different. And Saquon was back. Saquon hasn't been playing since week 2. They put 28 points up in week 2. The Dallas game, you got jacked up, but you scored 28 points week 2 with Saquon. Then he hasn't played the rest of the season, and then he came back and he had a couple good runs against us. And I think part of why the game looked like how it was because you had to respect the run and the pass that game when usually you didn't have to. They couldn't run the ball, so they had to have Daniel Jones throw every time, and he's not like Tyrod as far as getting out of the pocket. So I thought they played like their season was on the line, and it was. And I think it's over now. I don't know if they'll just roll over against the Commanders, but I think the Commanders are going to win this game. If the Giants play defense like they did last week and Saquon can get going and Tyrod's throwing the ball like he was, I think they got a chance, but I got the Commanders here.
This is going to be my upset of the week. I'm going to take the Giants to beat the Commanders. I know it doesn't sound like it's a fair upset of the week, but listen, I think they're an upset team right now. And the Commanders, yes, they're favored right now. They're playing some decent football, but I just think that Tyrod Taylor and Saquon Barkley are going to carry this offense. And they might have found a little niche over what they need to do. It wasn't spectacular. They didn't get a touchdown last week, but they were moving the ball around, and Tyrod did a great job of keeping the possessions going and not turning the ball over as well. So that might be a sign and a recipe for how the Giants are going to win this week against the Commanders. And the Commanders are kind of this team that's a lot like Cedar Point with the roller coasters. They're up and down, and they go through all these corners and everything. They're just a team that I don't trust enough. So I'm going to take the Giants to upset the Commanders this week, and that'll be the upset of the week game.
Gotcha. Matt Sharer, thanks for coming in, buddy. Then you got Raiders versus the Bears. Raiders are favored by 3.5. Raiders are 3-3, and I remember Jake and his buddy said that the Raiders will be lucky to win 3 games. They're about to win 4. So I said, man, that's kind of disrespectful to the Raiders. I think they're going to be better than 3 wins, Jake. But yeah, don't think the Bears are going to win much more games this season. The Raiders came off a pretty good win. I think, in a row, they're going to feel good. I don't know if Jimmy Garoppolo is going to play. I think their rookie or whoever they have can come in and beat the Bears. Not too concerned about the Bears at all. So I'm going Raiders here.
So this is a game that Brian Hoyer is going to start. So good old Brian Hoyer back starting for the Raiders, and he follows the Josh McDaniels style. I think the Bears are going to win this game if it comes down to Brian Hoyer starting. Even though they want the number one pick, I just think that they have a lot to show out there, and I think this is a game that they're going to step up, and it's going to come down to a last-second play, maybe even a change of possessions where you're going to see a former Buffalo Bill make an impact out there on the field in Tremaine Edmonds, and he'll get an interception, turn the ball, turn the change of possession. Well, he'll get an interception. It'll be change of possessions for the Bears. They'll take it down the field, score, and win the game. So I'm going to take the Bears in another upset this week.
You're being risky picking terrible upsets when you're down by 5, but hey, I'm not complaining here.
Hey, listen, I've learned something, okay? When it comes down to gambling, you've got to gamble in order to win. So, you got to make something happen in the middle parts of the year, and it's every given Sunday. You never know who's going to win. Could happen, and we'll see. It could be a week where
you are right.
Yeah,
it is any given week.
Could be a week where the Chargers, but the Chicago Bears want to step up and show up.
Maybe. Then you got Bills versus Pats. Bills have the highest spread of the weekend of 8.5. We'll talk about the Bills later on, but it should be a game again that you should be able to handle. And, I'm sick of – you saw my film studies. If you didn't, go check them out. I'm sick of people blaming everything on Ken Dorsey and why the offense is struggling. The offense is struggling is because of the team as a whole and execution. It's plain as day. But I love Josh Allen. He's still the second best quarterback in the NFL. He can turn it around, and I think they will. I think they got a lot of great stuff going for him offensively and defensively. The Pats are banged up. Offensive line hasn't been good. Should be a dominant game. Needs to be a dominant game, and the Bills are going to win. I know Bill Belichick likes to blow smoke up people's asses, but he did say that we have the best defensive line in the league. And then they asked Mac Jones about it, and he said, "Yeah, I agree with them. They got elite players at every position on the D line, and it's going to be a big challenge for the offensive line and for us to run our offense." So, they don't have to say that stuff. I mean, maybe Bill just does it because that's who he is, but I don't think Mac Jones would just say that stuff to be, facetious or a prick. But he's not wrong, whether he's lying or not. He's absolutely right that we are the best defensive line in the NFL. I believe we still lead the NFL in sacks, Brett. I don't know if you want to double check that. If not leading, we're at least second or third. We were leading up until that game. So,
yeah, we're tied for first with the Baltimore Ravens right now.
24
sacks. Yep.
Damn, we missed a couple on Tyrod too. Yeah, Miller's been quiet, but he'll pick up the pace. It seems he's just trying to get a feel and be safe. I feel, but he got off the ball pretty fast, and I mean I know it was Evan Neal, but he beat Evan Neal pretty good a few times. Just didn't get a sack. The Browns who just knocked off the Niners versus the Colts. Anthony Richardson's out for the season, so it's going to be Gardner Minshew from here on out. The Browns are favored by 2.5. The Browns defense has been for real all season. I don't know if Watson's going to come back or not, but regardless, with Amari Cooper, David Njoku, I think they got enough power on offense to win, so I'm going Browns.
I'm going to go the same exact way for the same exact reasons. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet, to the point. Browns are going to take care of this game, whether it's PJ Walker or whoever is going to be at quarterback. They're going to win this game very easily.
Love it. Then you got the Doo-Doo Rams and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Rams are favored by 3.5. Pittsburgh's defense, you know how good they are. TJ Watt, when he plays, they usually win. It's pretty crazy. Always impacts the game. I don't know if I feel like Cam Hayward's been hurt all season, but I don't know if he's back. But regardless, they have Highsmith, who's been phenomenal. They always got a good secondary. Mika Fitzpatrick, Levi Wallace is out there representing. Offensively, they're not that good, Pittsburgh, but they just don't turn the ball over, and you get your ball to Pickens and Freiermuth, and just get it to your playmakers and be safe with the ball. Kenny Pickett should have enough oomph in him to win the game. I'm going Pittsburgh.
I'm going to go Pittsburgh, and same reasons, but one guy you forgot of in the defense of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Nick Herbig, another linebacker, big playmaker for them. I got to put him out there and give him a shout out. He's going to make an impact this week. Just don't think the Rams have enough to pull off an upset this week. They do have Cooper Kupp coming back. I think it's going to be a closer game than most people think, but I just think that the Steelers have enough to overtake them. And I know that Mad Chatter's saying the Rams, but I just think that the Rams are a little too hot right now compared to other teams. And I think they're just going to slow down a little bit. They're going to take a loss. This game is in Pittsburgh, correct?
I can't remember. It just shows you. I write it down. I put the spread, and but the thing you sent me gives the away or home. I want to say they're home.
The Rams are home. Yep. So
yeah.
So this is going out to SoFi. I just think that this, like you said, this game is going to be close, but I think that the Steelers are going to find a way to win it. Mike Tomlin, he'll coach his team to get him ready. That's one thing I love about him. And I just think that he's going to find a way to win this game. And I got to say, though, the other thing is, the Rams are going to they have some weapons over there.
Yeah, I mean, with Cutback and Puka, it makes me want to pick them, but I just think they shut down Lamar and the Ravens offense. They started off 10-0, and then they didn't score another point the rest of the game, and they lost. So part of me feels like the defense is going to come to play. But I think out of all my picks, I think this was the one I'm least confident in.
Yeah, I agree. I
can just see it going with Pittsburgh, though.
I don't want to take that mulligan yet in the season. I don't want to do that. And it's one of those games where it could go back and forth and everything. But, I got to pick the Steelers to win.
Yeah. And then you got somewhat easy one. You got the Seahawks versus the Cardinals. Seahawks are favored by 7.5. Seahawks were in the red zone 5 times versus the Bengals last week. And, of course, Joe Burrow and the Bengals get bailed out by their defense yet again. And, now they're on a hot streak, won 2 in a row, which is fine. But it's the same thing that happened in the playoffs when Burrow played like shit. And they beat the Titans by getting 6 field goals or whatever the hell it was. Yeah, 6 field goals. And then when they were playing the Raiders in the wild card, Derek Carr was driving down the field about to win the game, and he threw a pick in the end zone. So it's just more lucky defense that, I've bailing out the offense for them. The Seahawks had 1 touchdown, 5 drives in the red zone. So, it didn't do no good for them. And they lost 17-13, but I think they will bounce back against a bad division rival. And without James Conner, they don't have James Conner in Arizona right now. He's in the IR, which sucks also because I have him in fantasy. But, Seahawks are going to win this pretty easily.
Yeah, the new Legion of Boom up there in Seattle is going to take care of the day against against Josh Dobbs. So it's going to be an easy win for the Seahawks. They're going to find a way to make it very, very fun up there. And I can't wait to see Tyreek Woolen and as well as Devin Witherspoon as well.
They got a nice young corner duo, man.
Yeah, they have a great corner duo as well as, Jamal Adams, who's getting older though, but another good safety out there. And I'm trying to remember the other safety that they have.
Quadre Diggs, I think, unless it's not him anymore.
I'm trying to remember if it's him or the secondary there is incredible. So
I wonder if they'll get screwed out of Defensive Rookie of the Year again, like they did last year with Sauce won it instead of Woolen.
We'll see.
I wonder if Witherspoon's going to get screwed out of it. Caleb Williams, Cardinals. Yeah, Caleb Williams he's on something, man. He demands stock in the team he gets drafted to. He could decide when he wants to go. Like, come on, man. Like,
He wants
Be humble.
stock in the team for real.
He said the team he goes to, he wants to have a stock in their team.
Wow.
He wants to be part owner.
How can
So,
you
bro,
make
you played 0 snaps. You're not even in a good conference, for
Yeah.
one. And because people call you Patrick Mahomes 2.0, you think you can do all these demands. Like some people would, work their ass off in their whole life to try to get in the position you're in. And you're just like, yeah, you know what? If I don't want to go in the draft this year, I'll make more money in college. College isn't giving you $300 million contracts after your first thing. So go play college next year if you don't want to get drafted by the Bears or whatever. And you break your leg or you tear all your ligaments in your knee, you can never play again, then you're screwed. So
exactly.
you gotta be smart, and that's the problem. Most of these kids don't have brains in their head. They're just like thinking with, I got the money's this. Like you don't even know how to use money. So these young guys who have bright futures need role models to tell them, hey, whether it's their agent or not, like, hey man, I get you're gonna be famous or whatever, but this is a big deal getting the NFL. Like you don't need to stay in college another year. You're gonna make a ton of money, and careful what you say sometimes. But I mean, he is a great talent. It's just like, man, they gotta learn how to word certain things, I guess. So I'm sure he's a great kid. It's just when you hear that stuff, it's just like it's like a privilege,
Right.
It's a privilege to get to do what you're doing and making it seem like it's not one, but it's all right. He's going to go to a bad team regardless. That's how it works. That's what happens when you're a good player. You get drafted by a bad team early, but we'll see what happens with him. So you got the Chiefs and the Chargers. The Chiefs, again, they're 5-1, but they've also looked like crap for majority of the season. But nobody talks about it. Only when it's the Bills have a bad game, they talk about that. Not the Chiefs, though. Chargers lost to the Dallas Cowboys last week. They're now 2-3. The Chargers usually play the Chiefs pretty good. They should have beat them both times last year.
Yeah.
But Herbert threw a pick six when they were in the red zone, and they lost that game by 1 or something. And then he broke his ribs in the other game and still played. I can't remember. But my upset of the week is the Chargers. The Chiefs haven't looked good at all this season, in my opinion, besides when they played the shitty Bears. And to me, I just don't think that they've looked the same. But thanks to the stupid Jets, they traded back McCole Hardman to the Chiefs, who did well with the Chiefs, and they know how to use them over there. So now the Chiefs got better because idiotic Jets, Joe Douglas was like, yeah, I'm going to trade him back to the Chiefs, make them better because I think we're going to win a Super Bowl. Shut the hell up. He didn't say that, but he's like so late. Like you don't give the Chiefs players. Like that should be a number one rule, especially in the AFC.
Right.
You don't give the Chiefs players.
Right.
But they did, and they're stupid, but I'm sure Hardman will be pretty good for them again now, especially because they have even less weapons over there. I think the Chargers will bounce back. And for our rooting interests, I think it has to be the Chargers anyway, because they're 2-3. If they win, they're 3-3, and the Chiefs are 5-2. We win this week, we're 5-2. The Dolphins lose to the Eagles, they're 5-2. So we're at least, if anything, unless the Jags win, we would be the 2 or the 3 seed as of right now, which I know doesn't matter. It's too early, but it helps also because we still got to play the Chiefs. So that's how I do my rooting interest at this point. But I got the Chargers for my upset of the week.
So I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs to win this week. I just don't see enough from the Chargers. I think they're a team that, their head coach just worries me quite a bit with Brandon Staley. I know they're trying to fight for him and everything. They got Austin Eckler coming back. Also have Keenan Allen out there as well. But I just think that this is a game that it's going to be a game that they're going to find a way to win for the Kansas City Chiefs, and it won't be close. It'll be 17 points or so, but
damn,
it just seems like this. Okay, I'm going to say it right now. Seems like the script makers are putting the Kansas City Chiefs in games that they're going to win, and I just think that Taylor Swift's going to be out there in SoFi. And actually, the game's I think it's in Kansas City, so
yeah,
another week that we'll see Taylor Swift there, and we'll see how it goes.
What's up, buddy? Good to see you again. Julio Jones, the Eagles just sealed the deal in the Super Bowl. Yeah, it did. I'm surprised that no one else wanted to get him. Did you do Packers Broncos?
Not yet.
That's the next one coming up. But yeah, that's Packers versus Broncos. Packers are favored by 1.5. Oof, that's tough. That's a tough one. But I went with the Packers. They looked horrible versus the Raiders, and Jordan Love had a bad game, but I think they'll bounce back against a not so great Broncos team. And I don't know if it is what's his name, Aaron Jones, going to be playing or
I don't know what's up with him. I mean, I don't know what his injury is because I have him in fantasy and I'm like, what do I do with him? Because he's not playing lately and kind of worrying me. I mean,
yeah, he's not on IR, so
yeah, I don't think he's on IR.
no. But I know he bugged up his hamstring, I think week 2 or week 1, but I don't know what the injury is.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but this is a game between two teams that are struggling right now. Their offense of the Green Bay Packers, 27th in the NFL, and then the Denver Broncos defense, not very good at all. They can't get to the quarterback whatsoever. So I'm going to take Green Bay just because I think this is a game where it could be a bounce back week for Jordan Love, and I think he has the most upside of any player on the field. So I'm going to take Jordan Love over the Denver Broncos. But I got to say this, though. I mean, Russell Wilson has been playing better lately, and we'll see what happens there. It could be a week where Russell Wilson steps up and finds a way to win.
Yeah. Matt Chair, do you mean Robinson, the running back, or Allen Robinson, the receiver?
It's James Robinson from he's from Jacksonville. They signed him as a running back to the practice squad. So
I don't want to talk about running backs right now after what we did to Leonard Fournette. We'll talk about that Saturday, but freaking Brandon Beane, the dumbass wizard he is. Oh, yeah, come on in for a workout and we'll sign you. Oh, wait, never mind. We're scared that that freaking Ty Johnson's going to get poached out the practice squad, so don't even bother coming. Leonard Fournette is a 3-down back total package who could help you win football games. Ty Johnson's never going to play. Man, we'll talk about that Saturday, though. This, to me, is the game of the week. Eagles versus the Miami Dolphins. The Eagles are favored by 1.5. It's in Philly, too. And Keith will be there from AFC East Summit. I mean, the Dolphins, this is big for them because they're one good team that they played. They lost by 28 points.
Yeah.
However, the Eagles are just coming off a big, hard loss, and I do think they're getting their right tackle back, and they are a little bit banged up in the secondary. But like Keith always says, I think they're going to come back angry and they're going to play a good game. The Dolphins have been blowing out teams a couple weeks in a row. Are they going to get complacent again like they did? And they think that they're just going to walk all over us, and they got destroyed. So I'm going with the Eagles here. Like I said, it's going to be a great game. It'll probably be like 30 to 27 or 30 to 28 or something, or 42 to 38 or something crazy like that. It's going to be a fantastic game, or it's going to be a really bad game. It's like one of those games that you could see it being like 50 to 50, or ends up being like 17 to 13 for some reason. Like
right.
They just both crap the bed. Then the Finns got the Pats next, and then the Chiefs. So this is big for them because if they get this big win, this big signature win, you're 6-1. You beat the defending NFC champs, and you beat a really good team. And then you got to play the Patriots, who you've been beating. But they're always tough. The Patriots and Dolphins are always tough games. And then you got the Chiefs, which is another huge game for seeding. So this next 3-week stretch for the Dolphins is going to really show, I think, the true team that they are. Because then that's 9 games into the season. I think they'll know who they are 9 games into the season. And but I think the Eagles will win this one in a really, really, really good game.
So I'm going to go the opposite way. I think that the Dolphins are going to win this one. I think it's going to be a statement game from Tua and the Dolphins offense. I mean, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and you add in Raheem Mostert, who's been playing phenomenal right now.
Hold on, bro. Before you keep going, you remember when we beat them, right? all they did was bash Raheem Mostert and say how horrible he was, and he's garbage. And then the rest of the games he's played, he's got at least 2 touchdowns in every game and over 100 yards in every game, and he's got the most touchdowns in the NFL. I just thought it was funny because the week that we shut him down, everyone said how bad he was and that he should have been off the field and he should never touch the football. And then everybody loves Mostert now.
Yeah. Hey, he's my fantasy running back right now for the sleeper league, and
oh yeah, I know.
Trust me. I mean, I know you felt the pain, man, but yeah.
Yeah, I had a rough fantasy week in general.
Hey, at least you're not
got hurt.
At least you're not in last place, I'll tell you that. But I think this is a game, possibly even the Dolphins get Jalen Ramsey back, so that could be even bigger for them. He just got announced that he'll be starting his 21-day window to come back onto the team, which is very early, earlier than we ever expected. But we could see Jalen Ramsey out there this week, which would be a great game for him to start playing again. But I think it's just a little too early for him. I don't think he'll be out there. And this is going to be a game that's going to be very close all the way until the end. But I just think that the offense of the Dolphins is going to be a little too much it seems like every team has been playing the Eagles a little bit tough, and they've been staying in the game all the way until the end. So I just think that the Dolphins are going to find a way to win. I think the Eagles, honestly, are frauds this year.
Yeah, I mean, they're winning games, but they haven't looked great either. Also, you do have to hope for Fins to lose eventually so we can overtake. But honestly, this game could go either way. I'm just going with this because you saw the Dolphins after they got a little confident on a hot streak. What happened? And then the Eagles, I mean, Shady said in the Jalen Hurts' last 24 starts, he's only lost 2 games.
Right.
So they win a lot of games. So I hate Nick Sirianni. I want to punch him in his face every time I see that dumb fuck. But also I think that they've been in huge games. They know what it's like. Like, okay, we just lost. We can't lose 2 games. I always say great teams don't lose 2 games in a row. We lost 2 games in a row last year, and it turned out we weren't a great team in the end. But I think the Eagles need to win this game to prove that they are a great team. But either way, these are 2 fantastic football teams that are probably going to be in big playoff pushes near the end. Oh, he's just the way he acts, the way he talks, the way he walks around, the way he just on the sideline acting like a prick. I just hate that guy. And he's a dumbass too. He wore like fuck Dallas shirts one year and then they got blown out by 50. Like, shut up, dude. It was your first year coaching. Like you didn't earn nothing. Like, man, he just pisses me off. But then you got the Niners, Vikings. Should be a dominant game. I don't know. I think McCaffrey was hurt. Debo was hurt. Are they all good to go, or
they should be good to go? I mean, all of them, they said that their injuries are not serious, so we'll see what they decide to do. Maybe they're cautious in this game, but I'll start it off if you don't mind. I'm going to take the San Fran to win this game. I think they're going to bounce back. Brock Purdy played by far his worst game of his career, but I think they're going to step up and their defense is going to play much better than they did last week. This is a game that they will win by a lot, especially with Justin Jefferson not playing in this game. I think it's going to make it even bigger for them, but this is going to be a game that they're going to win commandingly.
Yeah, I agree. And the Vikings, their season technically isn't over,
right?
But 2-4, they technically aren't out of it yet. The NFC wild card race is going to be completely up in the air. I think the division's out of the question. I believe, unless they can get hot. But they got 3 more weeks without Justin Jefferson. So unfortunately, this is going to be one of the toughest games. But I still think the Niners will win. But hey, I guess you never know. We've seen crazier stuff happen.
We have, man.
And that wraps up the week 7. Oh man, I don't know. I just feel like I got a weird feeling about this week. I don't know. Either weird good or weird bad, but
could be either way. But I mean, we're still trying to figure out these teams. I mean, that's the one thing about it is, it's early on in the season. I'm trying to figure them out with you, man. And it's I can't believe we're above 500. That's a good sign, and how far above 500 both of us are.
Yeah. And I do want to mention, well, I got to look now because things changed, but before the Chargers played, I forgot what video I was doing, but the AFC only had 3 teams that weren't 500 in it out of 16 up until that Monday Night Football game, and the Chargers lost, so I think that makes 4. But people were saying like the AFC took it seems like they're taking a step back, but I think everybody's so good that that's just, it looks like it's bad, but it's really not. So
they're beating up on each other.
Yep. So you got the Patriots are 1-5. The Broncos are 1-5. The Chargers are 2-3. So that's 3 teams. And then the Titans are 2-4. Everyone else is 3-3 or better. The Texans 3-3. Colts 3-3. Jags 4-2. Bengals 3-3. Browns 3-2. Steelers 3-2. Ravens 4-2. Raiders 3-3. Chiefs 5-1. Jets 3-3. Bills 4-2. Dolphins 5-1. So this playoff picture is probably going to be insane heading in by the end of the season. Because look, literally any of these 13 teams can make the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's why I get so pissed off at losing those games you shouldn't lose. Because 4-2 is a good record, but when you got 10 teams that are 3-3, it just takes one game and then you're done.
Hey, listen, Matt Cheddar just said it best. I mean, he said AFC, XFL, and then NFC.
Yeah, I agree.
Pretty much the way that it's running right now.
Oh no, we're only 3rd in points allowed, I think now. No, we're 4th. Dropped all the way to 4th. Wait, hold on. It might be 5th. Yep, 5th actually. So we got 89 points allowed. The 49ers got 87. The Bucks got 88. And then the Chiefs got 88. And then the Browns got 77.
Wow.
Yeah. So still Brett's gone. But we're still a top 5 scorer in defense, even with all the injuries. So we'll take that. I want to see how much the Broncos gave up. The Broncos, they're giving up 200 points already.
Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell is happening with me. I've been doing that quite a bit lately and just jumping off of the screen and everything. I don't know what it is, but my computer just loves to play games on me and play jokes. And that was just another ghost that's in my house, I guess, that wanted to hit the button and decided to go to another screen.
You're good. If the Jets are in the NFC, are they a top team?
No.
I feel like it's similar to what they are now. I mean, you got the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Niners I'd put over them. The Lions I'd put over them. But so they probably be like the 6th best team, maybe. I guess it depends what division they go in. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. Like I kind of like this in a way, but I also hate it too because all it takes is one screw up and then you're done. Because look, man, I mean, that's just insane. There's like 7 teams tied for the 7th seed right now. So every game is important. Every conference game is important. It starts with the Patriots. They're 1-5, but they're going to play you tough, and they can run the ball. So it's going to be a tough game.
Have you seen what the playoff picture looks like right now for the Buffalo Bills?
No, can you pull it up or on the screen?
Yeah. So I can share a screen real quick if you want to see it.
Yeah, do that.
Bear with me real quick. I want to share that one right there. So this is what the playoff picture would look like right now. If it were, you have to hit the button though, just to allow me to share. So this is what it would look like right now. Let me go to the screen and go up. So right now the Chiefs would be in first place in the AFC, 49ers in the NFC, Dolphins, Eagles, then Ravens, Lions. This is not who would be playing against each other. This is just the seeds. As far as 3 seeds would be the Ravens and Lions. 4 seeds would be the Jaguars and Buccaneers. 5 seeds would be the Bills and the Cowboys. 6 seed would be the Steelers and Seahawks. 7 seed would be the Browns and the Rams. Holy cow. I cannot believe that. Still in the hunt, obviously. Colts.
Go all down. Look at all those teams. 1,
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Incredible. I mean,
5 teams that are 3-3 in the hunt.
wow. I mean, it's just
That's
crazy.
7 teams. So
Yeah.
we would play the Jags. Oh, great! I don't want to do that.
Yeah, we would play the Jaguars. I mean, it would be the Chiefs getting the bye.
Of course.
2 playing the 7, which would be the
Ooh, that'd be good. The best scoring defense against the Dolphins.
yeah. And then Ravens versus Steelers and Bills and Jaguars. But that game would be in Jacksonville, though. So
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to play the Jags again because I don't know, man. That was just a dumbass game.
yeah, that's just
But
crazy.
yeah, that's how tight the playoffs is, man. So, and then Dallas would play the Bucks again. They played the Bucks last year too. But yep, every game is important. But thank you guys. It was fun. Thank you for tuning in. I think because I'll have to ask Jake what we're gonna do because I think they have a show Wednesdays. Don't they have a show Wednesday?
They do, yes.
So we'll probably have to pre-record. God damn. What the pre-record? My train leaves at like 11, so maybe if you could help me out in the morning Wednesday, we could do it Wednesday morning.
Yeah, for sure.
Because then maybe.
Are you taking the train into Buffalo?
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's awesome.
Well, I don't feel like driving. So.
Hey, I didn't know there was a train that ran from Utica all the way to Buffalo.
Yeah, the Amtrak.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't realize that it ran all the way up to Utica, though.
But also, I don't know how Jake's gonna do that. Do his show because we're supposed to go get wings at night too.
Well,
I'll be getting there at like 3. We're gonna go get wings, and then we're gonna have wings again at night. So I don't know what the plan is, but
I want to fly in so badly just to just to be able to be with everybody. That would be so cool, man. I mean, we got to make this happen.
You should come, and then you can go to a bar and watch the game.
That would be fun.
How much was the train? Oh, yeah, I think it was like $40. If I'm
really?
Yeah, like $42 from Utica to. I don't know if it was one way or both, but I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna assume maybe from here to Buffalo was $40 and probably $40 back.
That's not bad though.
Yeah, it's less than you'd pay on filling up your tank.
Right.
So not bad. And then I'll be staying at Jake's, and then
hell yeah, man.
I spent $60 on the stag party for the tickets, and they're probably like at least $200 if you try to buy them each.
Yeah.
So I got a really good value on winning that at the stag party, and we're right by the tunnel, so you can probably see us on TV.
Sweet.
Give us some ideas of what a sign we can have that will draw attention. Maybe the players would like too.
Put up like a bright pink sign or something like that, you know.
We got to say something funny to make the players respond.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, it was a great deal, man, cuz my buddy, he's a Raiders fan. His uncle has like 11 season tickets in that row by the tunnel, like in the first couple rows. So they had it as a stag party prize. And I'll tell the quick story, then we'll get out of here. But usually when how a stag party goes is like they have baskets, right? And you put the tickets in the baskets you want, and they pick out of the basket the prize. But this time they did something different where they just picked out of one bowl. And then you could pick any prize you wanted. So I was like, oh fuck. I was like, someone's gonna pick the Bills tickets immediately. Nobody was picking the Bills tickets. I was like, oh man, come on, please let me win. And then his brother was gonna pick the Bills tickets, but then my friend told him like, hey, no, you can get them anytime because it's their uncle, so he can just be like, hey, can I get some tickets?
Right.
And then I was the next person. My ticket got picked next, and the Bills tickets were still there, and I was like, thank fuck, yes. So I got the tickets, and then I couldn't believe it. But wow. I was able to pick. It was before the schedule came out,
right?
So it was the Jags game, which turned out to be in London, so I couldn't go to that one, or the Broncos Monday night, which worked out funny because the two other options were primetime games. It was the Bucks or the Broncos. The schedules didn't come out yet, and I was like, well, the Bucks are probably the most guaranteed win. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case nowadays, but they both were primetime games. So I was like, I think I'll pick Thursday Night Football. And because it's sooner and the chance of snow will be less in October. So I don't think it's going to snow in Buffalo next week.
No, I don't think so. But, hey, it could happen, actually. There's a cold front that's coming into Buffalo.
What rhymes with serious? Why so?
Yeah, I like that. But, no, there's a cold front that's coming into Buffalo. I don't know when, but it's in the next couple of weeks. Actually, I'm sorry, the next couple of days it's supposed to come.
It's going to snow in a couple of days.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, there's a big snowstorm. It sounds like I'm making.
Oh, it's not a big. Come on.
It sounds like I'm making this shit up. Watch and see. I mean, within the next 10 days, it'll rain or it'll snow in Buffalo. Mark my words.
Oh, I can't get stranded out there.
No, it won't. It won't be this weekend though. I've already looked that up for you.
You said within 10 days. I'll be there next week.
Oh, maybe.
All right. So today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday. No, I'll be good.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a cold front that's going through. If you look at the 14-day forecast,
Thursday, the game, it says it's going to be 68 high.
Matt Cheddar has it right, though. The temperatures in Florida right now are in the 50s, actually. It's tonight it's supposed to get down to 52 degrees in I'm in like the Bradenton, Sarasota range, in an area that's like the number one area in the United States in Lakewood Ranch. They're the number one growing place in the United States. It's supposed to get down into the low 50s. So, this is the first fire of the year that we're having. So feels good. It's, this is what you pay your dues in the summer and everything with the high temperatures in the upper 90s. I mean, we had days where we were in the heat index was 120. And when you're working outside and everything, I mean, Sean, you've been through it. There's days where, if you're working, it felt like 140, 150 out there. I mean, you're in an oven and you're going through shirts so fast you can't even keep your fluids down. I mean, there's days where we had multiple people at my job that passed out, and it's just nuts. But this is what you pay for, and you pay for the summers and everything. You get decent winters, and it's always good to get this type of temperature down. And this is the best time of the year for me. I love it because I can't wait for it. But real quick, Sean, I do want to have a PSA if that's okay. I want to mention something that I put out to you guys on Instagram. It was a message that there was a collectible box that from a company that was you could buy autographs and everything from. Hopefully you didn't do it.
You did it?
I actually did it. I signed up and everything. It sounds like it was too good to be true. I don't know if you saw it and you're like, man, that's too good to be true. I fell for the scam, guys. But
what was actually a scam?
It was actually a scam. So I do want to let everybody know, if you get a message on Instagram or anything like that, you see a sponsorship from Dave and Adams Collectibles. It's actually Dave and Adams Collection Store. That's the one that you're going to look for. It comes up with this $38.99 box that you can get a bunch of stuff.
Wait, so did you give them like your credit card or your bank information?
I gave him my credit card. So I've already canceled the credit card and everything. Already got it canceled. Already got it taken care of. Got my money back, which is great. Bank took care of that right away. But I do want to let everybody know that if you do see a message out there, don't fall for the scam. It is a company out of China. They get your bank information and then they can F you over. But they have my credit card. It's already been canceled. It's already been verified and everything. It sounds like it's a very specific card place. It is. So Dave and Adams does have a real collectible shop. It's only on Facebook, though. So if you get a message off of Instagram, you see something on Instagram about this company that they're opening up a bunch of stuff and everything, it is fake, 100% fake. Just a heads up, David Adams. It's dacardworld.com is the website for Dave and Adams. That's the only website that they have. Just be aware of that. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that that's what's going on. Don't want anybody to get scammed like I got scammed and fell for it. They got me out of $48 right now, but that is going back to my bank account, which is great. It's already been temporarily put back into place, but they have to cyber stalk it and figure out what's going on and why that is. But they do have, I do have LifeLock on the line too, so they can't open up any bank accounts or anything in my name or anything like that. But I do want to make sure that everybody knows that.
Thank you, Brad.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll help someone out.
Hey, listen, I thought it was
If only you
good
could
to be
listen
true.
to yourself now. If only,
Hey,
if only past,
listen.
if only past Brett could listen to future Brett or current
Listen,
Brett.
I'm going to tell you how stupid I was, okay? And everybody that's watching the show, that might watch the show later on, I want them to know how stupid I was. Okay, what was included in this deal was a signed football, a signed football helmet, a signed mini helmet, a jersey, and an 8x10 photo. I thought it was too good to be true, but I saw that it was from David Adams. I'm like, that's a legit company. I've heard of them. I've been there, been to their stores and everything. I know the company. I thought that it was a real deal thing because it was a flash sale that was going on during the Bills game. So I'm like, hey, it's probably real. It's probably from them. I know that I talked to the guy that was running the store, and the owner spoke to him. He said that he wanted to get some online presence on Instagram. So he was talking to me about it. How could I go about it? He said he was going to message me. I did get a call from him a couple days before talking to me about getting on Instagram. And he said that he was going to go live on Instagram. So I thought it was true. And when I finally figured out that it was a fake store and everything, I called up the company and I spoke to the owner of DA Card World, the actual company, and he was telling me that they're getting a lot of scam calls and everything, and scam companies that are trying to create fake accounts under their name. So they warned me that it was a fake account, to contact my bank and make sure that everything was good. But I want to make sure that, Bills Mafia doesn't get effed over and you don't lose out on money, because, people are always trying to scam you on the internet. They're trying to F you over in as many ways as you can. So just don't fall for the clickbait. If it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. And don't make the same mistake that I made. So I want to help everybody out and make sure that that doesn't happen to them.
Thank you. Well said. The story's good content. That's a lot of work to scam only $50. Yeah. Well, they get a bunch of Bretts, and then they
listen.
Then the $50 turns into 50,000, and they're like, "Let's go."
Well, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a dumbass. I mean, I know.
No, you're not dumb. I'm just saying, like,
no, I'll tell you right now, I'm a dumbass. I was
the only reason I don't get into that stuff is because when I worked at the bank, all we did was get trained with like scam and fake shit. So I don't even like try to look at stuff like that. But if I didn't, I probably would click on one of those things and be like, oh, that looks kind of cool. Like, you're not stupid at all. It's so easy to get like that. And quickly, then I got to go. But scamming is so much advanced now, too. Like, a couple years ago, my grandmother called me all panicked and thought I was in jail because somebody took my voice from like when I call, like I don't know how they got my I mean, it could have been a totally different voice, but she said it sounded just like me. Called her and said I was in jail. I ran through a red light because I was on my phone and I hit someone and killed them. And
wow,
they needed to bring like thousands of dollars to the jail to bail me out of jail. So she called me all like freaking out. At least I know that she would bail me out of jail if I needed to, because she said my grandfather had the money and was about to go down there. And I was just like, Grandma, no. I was like, I'm at home with my family. So what would have happened if my grandfather went over there with the thousands of dollars? Was he going to get attacked? Was he going to get killed for showing up there? And then they stole the money from him. But yeah, it's easy to get. I mean, obviously older people, but I took it for her words. She said that it sounded just like me. So
Yeah,
if you can imagine that, that's really crazy that people could take your own voice. That's why, even though I'm a business owner, I don't like to answer calls from different area codes.
right.
I only like answering from 315. That's this area I serve. However, there's people that are from Florida who have properties here who
Right.
call me sometimes, but I usually ignore them. And if they want to talk to me, they'll leave a voicemail or they'll text me.
Right.
But I don't like to answer and say, hello, this is Sean, or hello, this is whatever. And then people can record my voice and then they can go put it somewhere else and use it to against me. But yeah, it's just crazy. So luckily she called me, because if she didn't call me, which she should have known that once I answered that I wouldn't have my cell phone in jail. But at least she called and didn't do that shit first. But people are sick. So I called. I know the sheriff around here. I taught his son baseball, how to pitch. So I was like, hey, just keep an eye out for this kind of scam. I mean, old people can get fooled easily.
Yeah.
So I said, put this out on the TV to watch out for this kind of scam. So hopefully it didn't happen again. But yeah, some scary shit. But thank you guys.
I'll tell you one more real quick. Okay, I'll give you a great story. And if it ever happens to you, just know that I'm never gonna freaking bail you out or anything like that. But I got this one in my email, and it said it was from a friend of mine that was overseas. He said that he is overseas, and they said that he got captured by Somalian pirates, and that they need $50,000 to come via wire transfer and to save him, or else they're gonna kill him and everything.
I'm like, well, I don't have 50,000. I'm sorry.
I didn't respond to it or anything. I just saw the message and I'm like, okay, whatever. So the next day I see him and I go, I'm so glad that you're okay. I'm glad that you're back and the Somalian pirates didn't kill him. And he's like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, dude, I got an email saying that you're in Somalia and you're going to get killed by a bunch of Somalian pirates if I didn't send $50,000 over. And he goes, dude, that's the funniest shit I've ever seen. He was so surprised that I was so calm. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna save his ass. I don't give a shit. And he thought it was funny. He's like, yeah, my email's been getting hacked lately and everything. Just sorry about that. I'm like, just letting you know, I'm not gonna freaking save you. That's not happening.
Yeah, crazy. That's funny though. Well, we'll see how this week goes. Hopefully it's a good pick week, and hopefully the Bills win. Hopefully some AFC teams lose to give more cushion and some good football. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Drop your picks in the comments if you want. Subscribe to Go Bills Podcast and Red, White, and Bills. We're trying to keep growing, and the more of you, the better the shows get. So have a great one. Go Bills, and we'll see you later.
Go Bills.